Good evening, and welcome back to the Cassini project. Sorry for the inconsistent scheduling. Real life has been getting in the way recently, but we're back at it. Our team is on its way to Starbase 114 in the Celeste system. And I believe our captain had a captain's log?
Oh, fuck.
You forgot to do it, didn't you?
Did.
He's like, bitch, I might have.
Face bomb.
If that's not the most in-character thing.
It's especially funny because he came to me saying, I want to start doing captain logs again, and he forgets to do it. So, nicely done, Adcon. Your natural 20 is accepted by everyone.
That's just the official captain's log, and then he has to spend another 5 minutes.
Alright.
Oh.
So, we're actually going to start today. The ship has just come out of warp, and you guys are docking with Starbase 114, prepping to collect supplies for a new Requisitions. And I haven't updated Dawn's asset, so it's not present today.
Sir, not appearing in this picture.
He's cloaked. Klingon cloaking.
Yeah, he's testing out the new personal cloak they developed.
He's got Tavita Rika's personal shroud generator.
In reality, Kagon's actor is working on a pilot for a different series.
Yeah.
All right.
General Haig is on Deep Space Nine. He was double booked by his agent. There was nothing to be done. You'll have to do with me, sir.
All right. So, Captain, would you like to discuss the Requisitions situation?
Yes, actually, I would. So, given all of our recent accomplishments and the situation that we've dealt with recently, we've now had the opportunity to give the Cassini some much-needed upgrades. I trust everyone's seen the memo I've sent out.
And if out of character, if none of you have, it's in the letters and notes section in the game.
Yeah.
Requisitions form, which I've just loaded up for our audience.
Yes. Hi, audience. Right. Well, if anyone has any questions or anyone has any suggestions, now's the time. What would we like for the ship?
I mean, real food is always good.
I did have my eye on that one, yeah.
It would be very beneficial to the crew to have actual food.
So are we talking hydroponics here or upgrades to the mess hall?
The mess hall upgrade would be supply an actual kitchen.
Yeah, you're going to go from the bank of replicators to Neelix's kitchen down there.
From a scientific standpoint, I think we would benefit most from manufacturing and biological facilities for our modular labs.
Why biological in particular, if you don't mind my asking?
Manufacturing will give us some flexibility to, well, manufacture things we might need if we are out on extended missions. Biological facilities will allow us to, for lack of a better word, farm on the fly.
It's possible, certainly.
I'm suddenly imagining, like, Kagon trying to farm with a centrifuge.
Well, they certainly sound like good choices to me.
Captain, I would make one note about the manufacturing equipment. I would imagine that it would probably have a very high power drain depending on what we were replicating, and there's going to be some limitations even on industrial replicators, non-replicatable materials, and so forth.
That makes sense. This is just a Pathfinder class, after all.
Wouldn't having a kitchen kind of kill two birds with one stone. If we're not replicating food, we have more resources to just replicate in general.
Well, the mess hall upgrade would just be adding the kitchen. We wouldn't be like the hydroponics upgrade would actually grow the food.
Right.
So
but
if we were
that's
to get
cool.
the kitchen upgrade, where would we store the materials? Would that be we have enough room in our cargo facilities for that?
For which upgraded?
For the mess hall, in terms of any food that we store
Well, I mean-
for usage there.
I mean,
Still
basically our
replicate raw ingredients.
and the hydroponics. If we got the hydroponics upgrade, we would essentially have more dedicated storage. And we've got tons of cargo bays. There's 4 cargo bays on this ship.
What would we get with an armory upgrade?
Oh, I know this one.
Guns.
What we get is we'd be able to requisition all the equipment base book, core book.
In
without-
all the books. In all the books.
In all the books. Okay, in all the books without having to spend threat.
Ooh.
So it's any, and it's not just weapons, it's any ground equipment as well. So like pattern enhancers and so forth.
Grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
This would be basically the armory in the shuttle bay gets an extra bank of like more armory stuff.
I mean, now I'm actually interested in that.
I don't know. I still the mess hall upgrade and the hydroponics bay are still a good idea.
They are.
That's more power for the ship to have if we have when we need it to be diverted somewhere else that we wouldn't be using if we grow our own food and everything.
That's also true. And if we are stuck without power, we still have resources.
I mean, until we all suffocate. But yes, that is true.
Although, as
Well-
the helms officer, the astrometrics upgrade, that's looking nice as well.
Yeah. Basically, the astrometrics upgrade would basically give you an advantage on any kind of like deep space scanning, any spatial anomaly scanning, make navigation easier, make it easier to spot hazards, etc.
Would it be easy to track someone based on their flight pattern?
Certainly is possible.
Hmm.
These are all good. This is so difficult.
Yes, I succeeded.
All right. So the main question is: do we want to go social or do we want to go tactical? Did I break up again?
Yeah, your last word there.
Damn it, microphone. Okay.
His last word was tactical, though, right?
Yeah. Do we want to go social or do we want to go tactical?
Blue Shirts Islanders are like, what about the science department?
Given
You
the
know-
social skills of the crew members on this ship, we need every advantage we can get.
That just gets you a dry look.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I hate to be the downer, but we've always run into something. You know, we were fighting Iconians just last week. So,
Well,
Another
technically, that was, 3 months ago now?
No, we're
I
not
don't
doing
know.
time tense
It's all about-
thing. Yeah, no. Not on this ship.
have the time to talk about time.
another bonus to having the hydroponics bay and then the mess hall upgrade would be really good for the crew morale.
Exactly. And they've been through a lot recently.
Unfortunately, your Talaxian will probably not poison this ship with cheese.
Will
Attempt.
there be Leola root?
Yeah, there's no Leola root stew on this ship. This is a no Leola root region.
That's why you never see a drop of sand on the Death Star. She got it.
Oh,
Well,
Pocket
That's
sand!
funny.
Yeah.
No.
Oh God, sorry, I wrote this.
Oh,
Sorry, for some reason
I'm
that
just
was
imagining
really
Darth
funny to
Vader
me.
having sand in his suit, causing it to malfunction.
That's why he never
No,
went back to
that was
Tatooine.
Oh.
Oh, I broke Sarah.
Yeah, so Hen actually turns to Kagon and goes, Commander, what's your opinion on the probe requisitions? I can't replicate anything more than class 1 or 2 probes on the ship.
If we're careful with reusability, then we should be able to suffice with one Class 9 probe and one Class 3.
You know what I should have opened before we did all this? I should have opened the technical manual to remember which ones go where. Or did I? I think I sent that to Adcon actually, so I might just pull it up on Discord. Because I sent you that big. What do each probe do? So here it is. So here's the different variations between the class probes. Class 3 is planetary. Class 4 is absent from here, but it's basically, I'm treating it as like an advanced geological probe. Class 5 is a medium range recon probe. Class 6 is a comm relay and emergency beacon. Class 7, remote culture study probe. Class 8, medium range multi-mission warp probe. Class 9, long range multi-mission warp probe. And then class 10 is, I'm basically treating it as like a special like Iconian technology probe thing that they've come up with. And then multiphasic probe is like technobabble bullshit anomaly probe.
Yeah.
Long range communication in this state's still pretty spotty, right?
Right. I mean, you guys don't know where you're going quite yet.
We
So-
could potentially use a relay probe.
I mean, depending on how far out you go, you might need multiples.
Yeah. If you got both biological and manufacturing, it would only give us 5 more science points to work with.
This
And
is why I'm bad with budgeting.
Something else to remember is that if you take 2 sets of lab equipment, you will not be able to reconfigure your multi-mission bays on the Cassini because you only have 2. So you would be basically locked into having advantage for only those 2 foci.
I'd recommend just taking the manufacturing lab and then leaving the other one open for restructuring, and then taking some probes.
That would give us a bit more flexibility in terms of the probe quantity.
Yeah.
Kagon, what do you think?
I'm not averse to this plan, and of course the final decision is the captain's.
Oh, that's my suggestion. In that game, that's my vote.
Oh, now you're breaking up again.
Oh, I said that's my suggestion, and out of game, that's my
Vote.
Oh,
oh, this microphone.
It might be just Discord, your connection.
No, it's the microphone. It's
Oh, so you got the
I need to up the gain or something.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right. So assuming we have 10 science tokens used for manufacturing, how many? It was a class 6 probe. That was the comm relay.
Correct.
Do we take 2 of those and then say a class 8 or 9?
I'd recommend a class 6, a class 9, and a class 3 and 4.
So 3, 4, 6, 9.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then what are we doing with the engineering?
That seems to be, yeah. Do we want to go hard or do we want to go soft? My vote's lean towards social.
Yeah, I do like the crew morale aspect of the. It's good to we've been through a lot. It'd be good just to have a place to.
The other option is a mess hall upgrade and something like 2 worker bees.
I mean, we're already getting 1 worker bee.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're the pre-requisitioned items under page 2.
Which is in our Discord, because I could only upload 1 page to the game. But you guys are getting 2 neutronic torpedoes, a work bee, and 1 suit of Mako battle armor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm good with the social.
The neutronic torpedoes from when the social angle fails.
So
Diplomacy has failed.
So which leads us to the questions: do we want to double down on the neutronic, or do we want to dabble in some transphasics as well?
My suggestion is to take 2 transphasic to keep our options open.
Or else barter the extra requisition tokens into something that we can use in another section of the ship.
I don't believe we can. It's each one's preordained.
Yeah, and this is like getting your this is the requisitions you're allowed to get. This is what's available at the Starbase, and this is what they're giving you. Like
Other
signed
ships
off.
we can trade with.
Possible if you want to go track one down. But I'm going to make that a roll. Sarah, as our tactical officer, do you have any opinions to add on the restricted ordnance?
Well, it would always be nice to have transphasic torpedoes, if we bump into the Borg again. But honestly, that front hasn't been too active. But I say that, and we're gonna run into a cube next week.
All thrown back in time again.
Well, by now they've likely adapted.
That's possible. Still, my suggestion is to have the transphasic torpedoes. Better to have them and not use them. Or better to have them and not need them than otherwise.
Agreed. The neutronic sort of just don't sit well.
I don't like having them on board either.
The doctor's stomach.
No,
Well, I mean, once we have them, we could, if you wanted to, Captain, we could disassemble them for component parts.
I'm going to definitely
Remind me
keep that in
again what a
mind.
neutronic torpedo is?
They're basically radiation torpedoes.
It's basically the successor for the quantum torpedo. When it detonates, it doesn't just release a set of 0-point energy like the quantum does. It also has a active neutron core and emits neutron radiation.
So is it like something becomes irradiated and then it takes damage
Yes.
over time? Okay.
Yes.
So it's basically like polonium rounds in mass effect. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much it is polonium rounds, except they're neutronic rounds.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I love that reference. Thank you. I missed those rounds. They were my favorite ones.
But
However, if
Brass
you do run
does
in-
not like them.
if we do run into the Borg again, we may want that. Or if say we ever run into the Borg for the first time for this ship.
Can the
Well-
Borg adapt to radiation?
Well, it's difficult because radiation specifically attacks biological components, and that's difficult for the Borg to adapt to.
It really would depend. Starfleet Command has basically said, like, a neutron radiation does affect the biological components. It really matters how well the Borg shielding is holding up. because this ship has to deal with things like neutron radiation on a fairly regular basis if it gets too close to a pulsar, for instance.
Then why don't we just get one of each?
Yeah, that's what my suggestion is. That's what we're doing.
So yeah, so we've got
Sounds sound to me.
we've
Right.
got a pre-ordnance of the neutronic torpedoes, so we'll use our 2 optional tokens to get the transphasics.
Yeah, that seems good.
Okay. So it sounds like we can summarize that.
All right, so we're doing transphasic torpedoes, Class 3 probe, Class 4 probe, Class 6 probe, Class 9 probe, manufacturing lab, mess hall upgrade, and hydroponics.
Correct.
Mhm.
That sounds good to me.
All right, and does some beeps and some boops on his pad. It's like sending the requisition form over to the Starbase captain.
Excellent. When can we expect this to be completed?
They're saying within a day.
All right. Sounds good.
So,
All right.
does anyone want to see what's on the station?
Yeah, actually, I'd like to get out and stretch my legs. Oh God,
It's not-
Steph, I'm sorry.
It's not a bad idea.
All right, so go ahead. I'm just going to use like our mess hall set because
Yeah.
You get out onto the. Because I forgot to make the map, even though I have the asset, I'll have to make one really fast. So you guys leave. You get onto the Starbase, and you're approached by Commander Cleveland, the commanding officer, who was waiting for you guys to come on board. Captain,
Commander Cleveland.
beautiful ship you got there, Captain.
Thank you. Lovely station you have here.
Thank you. Captain, I actually wanted to let you know that we have a VIP who's was expecting you, apparently.
May I ask who it is?
She asked me to just say you would know her when you looked at her.
Sideways glance at Killtheris.
Upward eyebrow, slight concern.
All right. Well, you can let her know we're on board. We'll try to meet her at her convenience.
All right. I will do so. Sorry, there's not a lot of facilities here. It's primarily a logistics base, but the Replomat makes a passable Rectigino.
That sounds good.
We shall see.
Kagon gets really intense for a second.
This coffee tastes dishonorable.
Oh, God, Kagon is a foodie, isn't he? All right, so I guess we're gonna head. I'm gonna head to. Does anyone else want to come?
Yeah, the doctor will join.
Chalice is like, I ain't got nothing better to do.
Yeah, Grez is sort of the same, but he sort of just keeps a lookout, just keeping an eye out on the area and see what's available, see if there's anyone that piques his interest.
Same.
So for most of the Starbase, it's just a bunch of like people just doing jobs, loading cargo, dealing with traders. It's kind of relaxing having just it be like a normal day for once. Kind of unusual. You're not used to that.
It is nice to take a walk through Starbase and not see everything on high alert, people running, someone trying to shoot at it.
And, or on fire for that matter.
Good
Yeah,
point.
and not to mention, it's nice to see slightly different people.
True.
Yes, people you are not familiar with.
Gotten
Is there
tired of this
any-
face already, have you, Killtheris?
Are there any like trading or like stores, like just general good?
There's a couple of vendors specializing in things like Trillium and Kivas. It's not a lot of. It's pretty clear that this base is like. This isn't like DS9 where it's a big social hub. This is pretty much. This is the Starbase. People go, and it's like. Basically, it's a big armory in space.
Okay,
In other words, you're coming here for a reason.
Mm-hmm. So it's got like kind of like how K-13 was in the original series. It wasn't actually. It's primarily just a staging hub. You know, you come.
It's when you go to the gas station at 3 a.m. to buy bread because you need it.
Exactly. That.
Yeah, the gas station, or the gas station right off the interstate where.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to stay here long.
Yep. This is Starbase Circle K.
Jesus. Oh, that says so much.
Does it seem like they need anything?
Is it really sticky on the Replimat floors?
Oh, gross.
No. We have evolved past that. We have drones that fly around and clean.
All right.
There's a reference being Australian that I'm clearly not getting, but let's just move on.
Circle K is gross. It's a gas station and it's gross.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
stations always have
7-Eleven.
Yeah. So, you guys sit down at the Replimat. You think your replicators are probably better? Like,
Harrison picks a small, like little sliver of unreplicated matter out of his drink. Huh.
it's a sugar cube that's just not dissolving because it didn't replicate right.
Maybe we can get them a little help with the replicators.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's like, how can you eat this? It tastes like liquid polymer. Kakon's like, it's delicious.
Yes. Maybe have
This is a warrior's drink.
If we could Sahan and go through their filters, maybe have Ariel go through the code.
So Sahan's like, I'm in the middle of trying to get all this stuff for requisition for the ship, sir.
I'm gonna poke the replicator and see what I can do.
It sparks.
Maybe we can send some of the engineering crew down here.
I'll just wait till I'm back on the ship.
That's fair.
Can I try to like duct tape this thing back together?
It's not
Be
broken, it
my
just
guest.
sparked. It's not broken, it's just cheap. These came from honest Madron's replicator surplus.
Yeah, the
Honest. I'm doing air quotes just for the viewers at home.
they got these out of the back of a car. Let's be honest.
A back of a runabout.
Ferengi Marauder,
Yeah,
which is about
yeah.
the same.
Only 10,000 miles on them.
I'm telling you, this runabout made the Vulcan run in 10 parsecs or less.
That's not the correct unit of measurement.
Let's have the runabout. Bumper falls off.
You know what the Falcon looked like after the Kessel run, right?
Yeah, the exact same as it looked like beforehand.
I think
No,
there's
it was
something
much worse.
alive in the doctor's coffee. It's twitching.
Yeah, Grez takes a sip and then sort of just, slides it away a bit.
Actually, isn't twitching coffee more authentic, Rectigino?
No, that's when the Gok gets in the Rectigino.
Oh, yeah.
I did not order Gocht in my Ractigino.
Want to switch?
Fortunately, there's the you can order the triple cereal if you'd like.
Oh no.
Command override Harrison, delete triple C.
Oh god.
We will never speak of this again.
Retro True to Kaylee.
I wanted those. They were spicy ranch.
Just pour yourself a bowl of triple.
Ah crap, I refreshed my page on accident. I meant to
Ever
mute
so rare
myself so I
stuff.
could laugh. I have to
All
open my
right.
character sheets again.
Alrighty.
All right. While you're sitting there being horribly disgusted for very obvious reasons, Captain, you see a very familiar woman who you had a very significant encounter with about, I guess it would be like 4 months ago from your perspective. Walking towards you, distinctly familiar Bajoran woman. Hello, Captain.
Harrison stands up straighter. Kaikira. Hello.
I was informed you'd be coming this way. I'm returning back to Bajor after a disastrous conference.
I did hear about that, yeah.
It's never a good day when assassins show up.
Still, sounds like you handled them just fine.
If I had been armed, I would have.
Aside from that, how are you doing, Your Holiness?
Eminence.
Eminence. Thank you, Your Eminence.
She just kind of laughs. You don't need to stand on ceremony. I'm doing quite well. I am, however, concerned about how you are doing since our last encounter.
Harrison actually kind of smiles and reaches into his back pocket and out an actual photograph. This is my wife, and this is my son. He's about 3 weeks old.
Oh. He's adorable.
We actually managed to reunite.
I'm very happy for you.
I can't tell you how. I'm afraid that's classified.
That
It's a
was
long story
expected.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to deliver a message. I had been, before I left for my conference, consulting the Orb of Prophecy and Change.
Oh.
And I wanted to remind you of one of the most... The prophets wanted me to convey this. Remember that the game must continue forward. Whatever has been cannot be again.
I'm just gonna look at Talus and just mouth cryptic.
And Talus's antenna kind of goes sideways, splay sideways. He just shrugs. I have no idea.
Harrison nods and goes, I understand. And I like to roll for deception.
Narrator.
No, I'm kidding. She can see right through me.
She just
Lying
kind
to the Kai. Okay.
No, yeah,
Fair move, Cotton.
I actually have no idea what that means.
It means you be Kai, motherfucker. It's time for Kai Hard. No. She just smiles and goes, I believe you will figure it out soon enough. May the prophets be with you, Captain.
And also with you.
With your spirit.
And the guy walks away.
I didn't know the captain was Catholic.
Is the Pope Andorian?
That would hide his antenna very well.
Well, that was chilling.
I always get nervous around religious figures. I don't know if that's the way I've always been or... Yeah.
I mean, I get that they have a purpose and there can be comfort, but I always feel I don't know. As soon as I see them, I always feel like I did something.
I wonder if the Dalai Lama
Right?
still at his
You're gonna
goodwill.
get smote at any moment.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Dalai Lama still on his Goodwill Galactic tour.
The Dalai Lama is a Tellarite now.
Oh my god!
I mean, I like it. Well, wonder who else we're gonna run into today.
Now it's all move forward, don't look back.
We certainly are. Oh my god.
We are moving forward.
Moving all over the place.
Moving on up.
To a
the east side.
deluxe apartment in the sky.
It does make sense that we can't take things back to the way we were, and moving forward is really the only option we ever have.
I guess I'm
that
a little
seems a little too obvious.
I guess I'm a little disconcerted with the prophets having their eye on me. Considering what happened to the last
Are you the
Starfleet
new
captain.
emissary and you never told us?
Oh no! Please, no.
Maybe they just have their eye on everybody. I mean, don't get a big head. You're already special enough.
It's not that. I just remember what happened to the last captain. They had their eye on.
And he's
Right.
still gone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wasn't he actually half prophet, if I remembering things right?
Look, it's complicated. We're not. Anyway, the whole point is maybe she got this before we went back in time, and it was supposed to be like a, don't let the past get to you kind of. I don't know.
That's surprising because the prophets do exist outside of time.
So that
I don't know.
how
I mean-
can you, if you're outside of time, how can you? Oh, God.
You know what? I've already got a headache just trying to think about it.
I am so sick of anything time travel related.
And coming
Don't
from
worry,
behind
it
you,
all makes sense in retrospect, but until then, there's no point focusing on it.
Agreed.
and
I like the way you think.
at that moment, you actually hear a familiar voice coming from behind all of you going, well, if there's going to still be issues with that, you're always welcome in my office hours. When you turn around, you see sitting in a wheelchair, still clearly recovering from her injuries, a blonde Ocampan woman wearing a Starfleet uniform.
Do we is this like do we recognize her?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's part of our medical staff. She was our
She was the captain's old yeoman who was secretly a counselor.
Oh, okay.
I stand
Lieutenant,
corrected.
yeah, Lieutenant
wait.
Korea. The
Lieutenant
one
what?
who, Lieutenant Korea, who
yeah.
Kagon fell on when you guys slammed into the wall,
Oh.
and has been pretty obviously been left paralyzed from the incident.
Lieutenant.
It's good to see you again.
Likewise. I didn't realize you were on the station, or I would have said hi. But
I'm not just on the station, and she hands over a pad. As part of your crew transfers, I will be returning to the Cassini as your chief counselor.
I'd be happy to take you aboard, but I have to admit I'm a little surprised.
I don't believe in giving up. And to be honest, I don't think about half of your counseling staff quit.
We had counseling staff?
That would be part of the problem.
All right. Well, if you'd like to come back, then yeah, welcome aboard.
I requested to come back.
Captain will take the pad and flip it over and sign over official documents he needs to.
So some beeps and some boops, and she goes, well, it's just great seeing you all again. I've heard you've had some particularly rough time the last couple of months.
You could say that.
I've been briefed.
Then yes.
I think that is an understatement then.
But it's definitely good now to have the break. I think we all needed it.
I will agree. I do think you need a break. Possibly for the starship, so that we can, not fly into the view screen again.
She is getting some upgrades to her.
So I heard.
How have you been, though?
Recovery has been somewhat difficult. Having to adjust to this, pointing at the wheelchair. But I'm not going to let it keep me down.
That's a good attitude.
I think it's quite a Tellarite attitude.
Oh, Dr. Verask, I actually do have something for you. She pulls out another pad from the satchel on the side of her wheelchair.
Oh, for me.
It's from Starfleet Command. And she hands it over.
He'll take it and look it over.
So as you're flipping through it, it's an offer for commission at the rank of full lieutenant.
Oh. Well then. I was not expecting that.
From what I understand, fighting a war twice over gets you noticed.
I don't remember the first one, but I guess. Thank you for delivering this to me.
It's my pleasure. I'm gonna go get set up in my quarters.
Of course, if you need anything, be sure to send a message or come visit the med bay.
I will.
See you around,
It's going to
Doctor.
be great work. Just call me Korea, please. And she goes, "It's nice to be back." And she rolls away.
Well, that'll be. I was not expecting her to return to the ship. To be honest.
No, well, it's good to see familiar faces. Well,
Absolutely.
old familiar faces that you haven't seen for a while.
Does this mean we're gonna need therapy?
We've been needing therapy for years.
Does this mean we're
Well,
gonna
I
have
think
to go to therapy?
Yes.
Compulsory therapy for every member of the crew.
We had to fight through the Iconium War twice.
I already
Still
have a
need something.
therapist. I don't need another one.
Does your therapist live on the ship?
No.
Then you don't
Is that a
technically have a
requirement?
therapist on the ship.
Somewhere Mizue's ears are turning red. It's like, I'm not a therapist.
No, Killtheris actually has a therapist on DS9.
Yes, that's right. They were seeing a therapist on DS9. It's not their therapist, though, because they were a temporary therapist.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Verask is gonna set the pad down and sort of look at it and then just look at the rest of the group and kind of ignore it for the moment.
So did just to clarify, did Verask actually say what was on there?
No, he hasn't.
Graz is going to show a bit of curiosity. Mind if I take a look? What you got there, Doc Verask?
Of course, it's a possibility for commission with Starfleet.
Really?
Yes, not something I was expecting.
You've been looking after us for a long enough time?
I have, but I don't know if that qualifies for me to join Starfleet.
It would give you a whole host of new responsibilities.
You mean the responsibilities he already has?
Well, in addition, we'd have to take new training.
And not only that, I would be under Starfleet Medical's prerogative to discuss any and all things within my files and make reports back to Starfleet.
Don't you already do that?
Yes, but as I'm a civilian doctor on your ship, I don't have to report everything to them.
That gets a very interested look.
In fact, Killtheris, can I get you to do an insight command roll on that one?
Me? Or Vrask?
No, for you. As an active commander in Starfleet who's engaging in some scrutinization here about what Vrask just said. Difficulty 1.
Focus?
I don't think you would have a focus. I don't think you have medical policies as a focus.
No.
Or Starfleet protocol.
So it's been a while, so I've probably forgotten, but do the rest of the crew know about the captain's status?
I did bring it up. I did bring it up before he went to the meeting to for the Section 31 base.
Okay, so that would perhaps be in relation to the captain's abilities.
Yeah,
All right, so momentum gain from that. So, Steph, as Killtheris, you know that technically everything he says is true, but you're also aware that Starfleet Medical is not like this probing investigative body.
Yeah.
Like, medical records are sealed for a reason. If you're not someone's doctor, or there's not a reason to access it, no one goes looking in.
You don't have any reason to be concerned about sharing your files with Starfleet.
I think doing the work I've done for the last while, I've grown a little more paranoid with who I share information with and what information I share it with.
Don't become like the rest of us, Doctor.
Oh, I think beforehand I already was because I was on the ship already.
Is there something we should be concerned about? You're not doing secret experiments or something, are you?
Oh, no. I'm not doing anything like that. I don't think I would be a good fit for Starfleet.
Well,
I mean, ultimately, it's your decision.
you're a good fit for us, and that's all that matters to me.
Though this does raise a slight concern. If I say no, are they gonna enforce you having a Starfleet doctor on your ship?
Not if I can help it.
They might want to know why.
I think the one thing this crew can do is fight.
I can be perfectly honest with them. I can just say I don't think I'm a good fit for Starfleet.
Either way, it saves me a ton of paperwork. So
Well, give it some thought, sleep on it, and you can give a decision.
Of course, Captain.
Okay, at this moment, while the decision is being made to think about it, all of your combat just chirp. Lieutenant Kalis to the to the senior staff.
Senior staff here?
So I have an incoming transmission from Admiral Komarova. Somebody want to take this?
I'll go take it.
If it's bad news, please don't punch a console.
This isn't my starbase. All right, I'll go find a secluded area I can go to take a call.
Okay, so you try doing it on Starbase, and you get like a pop-up saying, "No, please take this on your ship. Security measure like such and so from the admiral."
All right. Looks like I have to go back for the ship. Okay, over here. All right. Yeah, then I head back to the ship.
All right. So you return to the ship. Chaos is like she's waiting for you on the view screen and turns it on, and there's your mother in her office. Hi, Logan. How are you doing?
Just getting settled in here at the Starbase with some new updates.
Glad to hear it. Letting you know that we've managed to identify the certain files that the other Killtheris managed to hack into, or at least some of them, anyways.
All right. What was she looking for?
We're not sure what exactly she was looking for. We do know she was investigating the sensor log sent back to us by the USS Hayabusa. She was another Pathfinder-class ship on a deep-range exploration mission to the California Nebula.
The California Nebula. That's pretty distant, I recall.
1,000 light years.
Anything noteworthy about that nebula?
Can't tell. The files have been deleted.
Lovely. Would you like us to go check it out?
That is exactly what I'm planning on having you do. I've also contacted Subcommander Kale at Dyson Joint Command C about giving you a leapfrog there via one of the space gates.
That would be a new experience.
Well, anything to figure out what's going on faster, right?
Agreed. I don't like the idea of Killtheris being out there at all.
Killtheris, that's...
It's what we've taken to calling her to differentiate her from the our Killtheris.
Definitely an apt description.
Hmm.
I will transfer whatever we have in protected database from the Hayabusa. There's not a lot here, unfortunately. She was very thorough.
She always was good at covering her tracks.
We're still trying to investigate further digging inside the database, see what else was accessed.
You'll contact me if you find out anything else relevant?
Indeed.
Good.
Admiral Harrison out.
Admiral Harrison?
No, sorry, Admiral Komarova, shit.
Dad, you're back!
I was your dad all along! What a twist! Alright, so... you get a data packet of information about the Hayabusa. She was another one of the first wave Pathfinder-class starships. She launched at like the 2nd or 3rd of this year to go explore the California Nebula. Her registry number is NCC 97602, so the one immediately following this vessel. So she actually launched before the Pioneer.
All right.
All contact was lost with the ship within the first week of the Iconian War. It is believed to be a casualty of it.
So MIA not confirmed KAA.
Correct. Missing, presumed dead. The latest, there was communications issues, from what you can tell from the handful of communications logs. When it got close to the nebula, some sort of subspace interference. And there's been really no record of what happened. Commanding officer was a human. He actually died in an accident a few weeks before all contact was lost. Freak EPS conduit rupture took out a couple of sections of Deck 3.
Who was the commanding officer by the time of the disappearance?
It was their executive officer, Tellarite, Lieutenant Jakrev. Lieutenant Commander Jakrov.
All right. All right. Well, I will forward that information to my senior staff. We'll discuss it at the next meeting.
Okay.
But for the time being, we can at least relax because we can't leave dock anyway. So.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
I want to suggest something.
Okay.
The rest of the
Alrighty.
Since I'm assuming like Logan's gonna tell us what the conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so since we know what she is doing and that she is me / I was her, however you want to put it, and we should probably come up with a way to differentiate the two of us because she could easily just cut her hair to look like.
Yes. But it can't be anything medical. Something that she could replicate on her own. Or emulate.
And if you can think of it, then she obviously would as well. So,
I mean, isn't there some sort of like temporal signature
We were never able to get a good
That would-
scan of her.
that would indicate that she's not from this timeline?
We're not entirely sure why she's existing. Maybe a phrase.
But the
just-
lieutenant may be right. She may have a different quantum signature to indicate either a different timeline or a different universe. The two concepts are closer together than one might suspect. Either way, there might be a way of discerning between the two of them.
If we can, that's great, but I think right now we should operate on the assumption that we cannot. It's also not entirely possible to fool that kind of sensors.
To be honest, I was thinking of something extremely subtle.
it's like a code call and response kind of thing.
No, that's too obvious.
It's not something. I think it's something we should implement anyway, in case.
Well, that's fine, but honestly, I was just gonna change the color of my ear.
The color of your hair?
No,
Earring.
my earrings.
Going
Wouldn't
for
she
the
be able to
palette
just-
swap.
Hmm?
Going for the
Wouldn't she-
palette swap.
Wouldn't she be able to just do that herself?
Not if she doesn't know. That's why I said it's subtle.
I mean, if all she has to do is just check our internal sensor logs. And she's certainly broken into our systems before.
I mean, it was just an idea.
It's not a bad idea. It's just for the fact that she thinks like you. She basically is you, but she's a scarier, more unhinged version of you.
I've actually noticed significant thought pattern differences.
There have to be some significant thought pattern differences. Her mind was never wiped.
Not only that, but Killtheris now comes to different conclusions when faced with similar situations.
Is there any way we can use the internal sensors that, surely we detected her when she was on board the Cassini to see if there's
Disabled
a
everything.
difference in their brain chemistry?
She actually disabled the internal sensor before she entered the.
Of course she did.
It can't be anything, I think, technological. It has to be something interpersonal.
Which would once again lead us to some kind of, maybe not a code phrase as such, but some kind of question that we expect a certain answer from.
I've got an idea.
Oh no.
Oh?
My antenna. Most people ignore them, especially if they don't have antennae of their own. They're very expressive, but if I move my antenna in a certain way, and you move your ears in a certain way in a response, it's something that could be completely benign.
But that requires you to be there.
This is true.
Perhaps we could all come up with some kind of...
But given that I am the security officer and I would probably be doing most of the investigating.
It would benefit.
You're not with one of us, and we actually need to know.
Yeah, it's possible she would come after us individually, divide and conquer.
So then we all come up with our own individual challenges, whether they be something unique to us.
That would be the most secure, but that would be a lot to remember.
Or as a crew, we come up with one sign, countersign.
I do like the individual thing. I think it shouldn't be too hard to remember.
Until you have to do all of them at once.
If you get one of them wrong, we shoot you.
I mean, it is the safest measure.
I'm suddenly now imagining just like there's a scene where all of you are pointing phasers at a different person.
I mean, we're definitely going to get there at some point.
They're going to call it the Cassini standoff.
But it was just something I wanted to bring up as a talking point.
It does bear further consideration.
Indeed. Well, as good as Killtheris is, I don't think she'd be very talented emulating you for long periods.
There's also a chance she won't bother.
Indeed, she's not subtle.
I mean, I'm not subtle, but it's a different kind of not subtle.
She's not subtle with her claws out.
Yeah.
And now you'll have to identify which one is which by a subtle off.
God. Which one of you hates Ted more? Oh, fuck.
That's just cold.
Regardless, I should probably mention right now that Killtheris, do not engage. Especially if you're by yourself, do not engage. Try to avoid conversation. Get out as soon as possible.
Yeah, probably for the best.
She is, without a doubt, one of the most dangerous people in the galaxy.
Keep talking. It's not terrifying.
Yeah, I suppose knowing that you are one of the most dangerous people in the galaxy, even though you aren't, is that's unnerving on a completely different level.
I'm gonna look up these members of the shit.
Yeah, let's focus on the Hayabusa. I would like to finally put that mystery to bed.
Nothing like a good missing starship, right?
It does feel like a return to form.
How widely known is the area that we're going to?
It is not explored region of space.
Virtually unknown.
Yes.
Well, that'll also be exciting. We'll be seeing things that people haven't seen before.
Good old-fashioned exploration, something a Pathfinder was meant to do.
And flying through things no one's ever flown before.
Lieutenant Graz, I suggest we consolidate our efforts, charting and plotting potential navigational hazards.
I
It's
should
more of
probably
a
make sure.
instinctual thing for me rather than a. I don't know, but I'll definitely have to see when things happen.
Now, one last matter. Because we're all here. Lieutenant Alexis, what's this memo you sent me about? Something called a Fight Club?
We don't talk about it.
Fight Club. But really, sir, I actually think it would be good for crew morale. Just a place to blow off some steam and hone the edge in terms of our personal combat skills.
It's just some of your requisitions here. Let's see, spectator seating, announcers tables, something called octagon.
You've never
Yeah.
seen. It's an Andorian cultural appreciation thing. Also,
All right.
some of us want to hit each other really hard.
I assume
fun.
there's going to be I assume there's going to be safety padding.
Yes! Safety
Wear
protocol.
gloves.
Captain. Never mind.
I might wrap my hands with something.
I mean, mouth guards for sure.
If the captain is
Definitely.
punching other people, he's not punching out the doctor's monitor.
Well, if this is what people want to do, sure, it'll certainly be attention grabbing. I'm probably gonna have to personally sit it out though.
Not all of us can run your, what is it, American Gladiator 3000 simulator?
It's been a while since I booted that one up.
It's terrifying, sir. I tried
It's
it.
not that bad.
I'm telling
There's
you.
only like 6 buzzsaws.
The doctor actually
I
picks
fear
up the
for my
Ratatouille and drinks it. The wiggling,
Like, I
squiggling
had to double check that
Ratatouille.
the holodeck species were on and my antenna were going to be intact, sir.
What was that? I only caught the end portion of that.
Oh, I had to double check that the holodeck safeties were on and that my antenna were intact.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not a very good challenge if, all the safeties.
You
Do I
did
keep it
that,
present
Alex.
for this conversation as the medical official on the ship?
You're making a mental note. This is not healthy behavior.
I am going to have many words with the new ship's counselor.
When was the last time you did that?
I had to blow off some steam, probably just after we got back to the timeline.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's about the time I discovered it because it was in the recently played file. And I was like, what is this?
You know who is going to be excited about a Fight Club, though? Our resident in-house Jem'Hadar, Tivita.
That's true.
Oh, that'll be good.
You may want to brief him on what's expected, because from what I recall from Jem'Hadar culture, it's generally to the death. Yeah.
Jem'Hadar have a culture?
Yes.
It's mostly based around fighting and murder, but, well, not murder, warfare, but yes.
Sounds like an Andorian culture.
Imagine that, but take away the art.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
style up the warfare a bit.
And get rid of the ice.
And take all of the bits about honor and multiply that by about 1,000.
Well, it's actually kind of fascinating, but yeah. I do recall that from Starfleet POWs about their almost fighting tournaments within those camps.
Yes. I do remember reading about those in the history books.
Yeah,
War of honor has been satisfied.
but I have not.
I mean, there are lots of different fighting.
Yes, but if he's going to participate, he should be briefed on what's expected and what's allowed.
We'll
Of
make
course,
a list of
Captain.
rules.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want anyone getting themselves permanently injured out there.
Yeah, and the question is, are we following boxing rules, MMA? What kind of actual sport are we playing here?
Probably more like MMA.
Well, that's you two could decide on the specifics.
You know, we'll have time to do this next week when we do an episode where this is the B plot.
But yeah, I think for everyone's safety, I'm probably going to sit out the fights.
Probably a good idea, sir.
Yeah.
You can be the ring the ring announcer.
Oh, someone's going to
Although-
stay on the bridge.
Although by that logic, we should not let Vulcans fight either.
Or Jem'Hadar. Or
There's an
Klingons.
entire division that's for Logan, Tavita Rika, and Nurse Favaros, and then everyone else below because Kagon doesn't qualify for.
Oh.
Ooh.
I think you start up a fight club. There's no way you could keep Rika out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving along.
Yeah.
Wait, that was the last thing of business. There's no moving along.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
is there anything else to do here, or we're just going to
We
Shit.
can jump to the ending, or if there's something you guys want to do really fast before we complete this episode.
I think we got time.
I want to look up the commanding the XO who became commanding.
He had a pretty standard career. He was noted for being kind of pacifistic for a Tellarite. It was mentioned several times, very violence adverse. It was part of the reason he was selected for the crew.
Hmm.
But he was just identified as just being a kind, gentle man who was former science officer. Had a specialty in nebular gases and the interstellar medium.
And what exactly were they doing when they disappeared?
That is unknown because those files have been erased.
interstellar gases?
However, there is some information. It seems like it's remnants of cultural data. It looks like they were checking out civilizations out there. You know, first contact procedures as they're traveling through space. There is some evidence suggesting that they had encountered some sort of civilization that was more advanced than the Federation, not like Iconian level, but definitely past your level of development.
It's around the first Federation level.
There's not enough information to tell, just that it's higher on the what's that scale for the Kardashev scale for civilizations?
Yeah, Kardashev.
Yeah. Their Federation's like a 1.69. These guys were like it's somewhere between there and 2, which is where Iconians are.
I'll have to make a note of that. Prepare for possible first contact scenario.
The reason for disappearance as well.
Well, it would be technically second contact, but yes.
The only other thing that's of note in the Hayabusa's records, they also had a Klingon science officer. That's something of a recurring theme with the Pathfinder classes. All the Klingons who wear blue shirts got on them. Their course basically went galactic south rimward through the Pleiades and then past Drueve's Lost Nebula into the California Nebula.
Does anyone on our ship have connection in any way to anyone who served on that?
At most, maybe Kagon, because Klingon science officers probably knew each other, but...
Right.
Very small cadre.
Right. There's meetings and there's like 12 guys in there.
But, it's not like someone was family, someone was in a relationship, that kind of...
No. They were...
We're all friends on Galaxy of Fantasy.
Likely any connection would have been when the Pathfinders were launching. There was a lot of people applying to the program. The Pathfinder project was kind of viewed as an opportunity to get away from the war, and then when launched, the war actually ended. And
I'm just looking for a reason why I would be interested in it. / she would be interested in it.
Well, you can't really say. Like,
yeah,
there's just
jumping out at me.
There's not enough information. Like, was there a piece of technology on that ship? You don't know. You don't have access to like their manifest. What was it? This civilization that's out there? Possibly, maybe. But then again, could that also be like a huge threat to them? Did they just happen to stumble across something and there was something important in there and they felt it would, just to be on the safe side, erase all the data and then go after the ship? Like, there's no context.
Frustrating. I have nowhere to put my red string. I have nowhere to put my red string.
Just get a paintbrush and just paint it all red.
So I guess we move on to the ending now.
Alright. Well, we're gonna move back to the bridge.
I feel like there's something we're missing that we could be getting to with the extra time that we have. Ah, damn it, nothing's jumping out at me.
I mean, we're at Space Circle K, so there's not.
Yeah.
Get yourself some Slurpees.
Yeah, get some Slurpees. Sit on the curb outside.
Some ultra gross Slurpees.
Get some candy bars.
Come see the doc when you get food poisoning from the candy bar.
Don't eat the space sushi.
Oh, God.
Gas station sushi.
Don't touch the roller hot dogs. Don't.
No.
Don't get the sandwiches.
Because singing alien will jump out and start singing, "Hello, my honey, hello, my baby."
Hello, my ragtime girl.
What did he order? Yeah, he had the special.
Change my order to the zoo.
Check, please.
So you come back on board. Sahen's like, okay, we got all the things installed, and they seem to be working fine. They're loading up the probe bays right now with the extra gear.
Excellent. Imagine the crew's already taken nicely to the new mess hall.
Very much so. I think it's a good chance that Alexon is going to have way too much work to do. He's going to need more personnel.
Well, if he wants to put out a call for some personnel who wouldn't mind, if he wouldn't mind taking being under apprenticeship, I don't see why not. I believe that's done with chefs, right?
I think so.
Yeah, sous chefs are a thing.
There we go.
But it's also like a trade thing as well. That there is apprenticeship levels where you get trained under a specific thing, and then once you've done the training, you can become like a sous chef. Then yeah,
all that good stuff. All right, Captain. Before we head out into the great unknown, would you like to give a speech to your crew?
Oh boy. Might as well, right? All right. Communications open with shipwide channel.
Channel open, Captain.
Crew, this is your captain speaking. We dealt with some hard times recently. Had some outrageous situations thrown at us, and we've come in through the clear. I can't exactly say what's going to be in front of us, but it is important to keep our eyes moving forward. Not against looking back, but we need to be sure of where the wind takes us. And from all the examples I've seen so far, I am dead positive we will come through this on time. I am exceptionally proud to work with each and every one of you, and to lead you into this endeavor. Channel closed.
Channel closed, sir.
All right. Set a course, Lieutenant.
That means you, Lieutenant.
Graz.
Yeah, I knew myself. Sorry. I said course leading.
To the California Nebula.
Via a few other places first.
I need that. I feel weird without having a catchphrase.
Punch it?
No, it's been done.
You could go with the classic.
I guess not. Wouldn't mind. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay to borrow this circumstance.
And before you get the chance to come up with your catchphrase, Callus actually turned around and goes, Captain, I've got an incoming transmission for you from Dyson Joint Command. It's Subcommander Kale.
On screen.
The Subcommander appears on screen and goes, Captain, glad to catch you before you started making your way. We wanted to let you know we tried contacting the 2 Iconian space gates in that region of space. Our connections failed.
Any particular reason why, or is this
One gate won't respond to our commands. The other one, we got a do not enter warning. If it's all right with you, I'd like to assign the Cassini to investigate these 2 gates. Obviously, we have other Pathfinder-class ships in the 4 Quadrants Initiative who might end up getting stranded should one of these errors occur.
All right, we'll check it out.
Much appreciated. I'm transferring all information we have on the space gates to your ship's computer. Ariel responds, data received, Captain.
All right then, Subcommander. We'll go take a look and see what's going on.
Godspeed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the channel closes.
Alrighty, never mind. Lieutenant Graz, set a course for the nearest Iconian space gate.
So you're going to the Dyson Joint Command.
Yes.
Seriously?
Oh no, whichever one was on the fritz.
The closest one that's on the fritz was on just inside the Pleiades near Maya.
Okay, then set a course for the Pleiades system.
Well, Maya system.
The Maya
Pleiades
system.
Cluster.
Course plotted in. Personally, I'm just glad to go somewhere where everything's not already all plotted out already.
We'll get there eventually, but for now, we do need to figure out what's going on.
Well, I'm ready, sir.
All right then. Damn it, I can't think of anything.
Told you, punch it!
Just go.
Wow.
Just go.
And with that, the nacelles raise, jump to warp. And with that, we're just gonna go. We'll see you guys all next week with the next episode of the Cassini Project.
Fucking ship apocalypse here.